what do you need to know about this Pega breeding and Pega burning event coming up for a week long. Just some things we can take out of the video and what you need to look out for. So let's get into it. Right guys, so Corey released a video regarding the breeding and burning event of the Pegas. But before we go into more detail on what he actually says there, he starts off by saying the following.
By the way, has anyone actually looked at the Stats Matter announcement properly and closely in detail? There might be something there that you guys did actually miss. Look closely. We've actually had a lot of comments in the community about giving out hints, and I just want you guys to know that there is always a reason for the way that we do our communication.
Okay, so the announcement contained some hints regarding the breeding and racing on stats. So guys, if you figured it out, good for you. I hope you have, and you've got to the point where you can actually utilize that and improve your skill-based gaming in this Pegaxy game. So I hope you guys figured that out. So let's get into the rest of the stuff. So for 1 week we'll have a breeding and Pega burning event, and the first thing that we need to look at and make sure that you do understand is what are you going to be able, or what are you given this week. So listen closely.
The breeding cooldowns of all breedable Pega will actually be set to 0.
So the breeding cooldown will be set to 0 of all breeding Pegas will be set to 0. So guys, it's the cooldown, not the cost. I've had a few people talking to me, and we've been chatting, and realize that it's all about the cooldown, not the cost. So, and the reason for that is quite simple. They need to burn vis tokens. So if we go to let's just do the Apollo thing. So as you can see, the vis token burn rate is drastically low at the moment. As you can see, burnt 13 million, new minted 59 million. So there's way more vis minted than there is being burned, only 72%. This is having a drastic impact on the value of vis. So they can't have you breeding endless Pegas at no cost. So guys, remember, if you're planning to breed and utilize this week of breeding event, make sure you have enough vis and PGX. So it's no good saying you've got a week with no cooldowns and then you can't breed because you don't have vis. So you will be buying either vis if you don't have, and PGX. And the other thing also regarding this is that this will then result in my opinion, if you don't have and people start buying vis, it will result in improving the price of vis tokens. So that's the first thing I would say you need to be careful of, and make sure that you understand and know this. Go on, so let's look at this. Wrong one. So as of the announcement, you will note already, there you go, The announcement was more or less this time, and we already saw a massive spike in the VIS price just after the announcement, which is good for us as VIS holders or players, or for the game in general. Right, let's continue. As you know, there is types or tiers of horses, or Pegas for that matter, and let's listen to this quickly.
You guys are going to be able to burn 2 Pegas of the same rarity. So you're probably wondering what rarity is. It's your pacer, your rare, your epic, your legendary, all those ones. So that's what your rarity is. And what you'll be able to do is receive a new Pega of the tier above it.
Right, so this is your types or tiers, as he calls it. So you've got your pacers, rare, epic, and then legendary. So you will be able to take 2 pacers and basically combine them into one, and then that will give you a rare Pega. You'll be able to take 2 rares, that will give you an epic, and 2 epics will give you a legendary. So that's what he's talking about here. And then he goes on to say,
so 2 paces goes into a rare. The stats in your new Pega that will be generated is actually random. So
right, so, and this is where you've got to remember this. So you can basically burn paces and then get a pacer and get a rare. So you can make or upgrade your Pega in a sense, but you'll end up with only 1 Pega. Now the thing comes in that when you burn this or you do this, the stats does not carry over from either of the parents or the original Pegas. The stats on the new rare or the upgraded Pega is completely random. So you could in essence say you've got 2 crappy paces, and in that sense do the joining and burn 1 and get 1 and hope for an improvement of what you've got. This opens up the possibility to maybe buying up weak or low cost Pegas on the market and trying to improve on them. That again has its other implications, but in essence that is possible. Whether or not that's worth it, that's another debate. But he also goes on and then he talks about where people will be racing the rarity with each other, which is different than what we're used to now. So let's just listen to that.
It doesn't inherit the 2 stats of those Pega. What you do is basically get a re-roll of all of the stats. This process does actually cost Fizz, and what you guys are going to notice is that the breed count of the new Pega isn't actually 0. Each Pega that gets leveled up a new tier of rarity will have a higher breed count.
Okay, so that's also quite important. So you're not getting a new Pega if you got to a Pega with both 0 breeding on them and you merge them to get a new upgraded tier Pega. It won't be 0 bred anymore, it will be 1 bred. So it will increase to the breeding, and if I understand it correctly, it might even be 4 or 5. So keep a eye on that.
With rares starting at 4, obviously epics starting with 5, and then legendaries at 6.
So there we go. He confirms there that if you take 2 paces, whether or not they were 0 bred, the rare will have a 4 bred on that. So yeah, remember that. That can have drastic implications on the vis token burn and required to breed them again, and also the vis tokens required to merge them together.
Obviously, that means it will cost more Viz to level up from Epic to Legendary than it would from Pacer to Rare. Secondly, the different rarities of Pega are actually going to play in different lobbies of the racing.
So different lobbies of racing for different tiers of Pegas. So Pacers will be racing against Pacers, Rares will be racing against Rares, and Epic, and so forth. But this also means, and he brings it up in a bit, that the Pacers are racing against each other, the prize money or the prize winnings will be less than those of the Rares, and the Rares will be less than those of the Epics, and then so forth. So we can just continue and listen to what he says about that.
As we mentioned earlier, the different lobbies are going to equal different rewards. Easiest way to look at it is the higher the rarity, the higher the reward. There's going to be lobbies for Pacers only, Epics only, Rares only, Legendary and Foundings combined together. The initial rewards have been chosen carefully to ensure both healthy...
And there you go. So you just confirm that. So basically you would want to upgrade your Pacer to a Rare as fast as possible, and then upgrade your Rare to an Epic as fast as possible, because you want those rewards as high as possible while doing this. This will definitely result in a much higher Pega burning rate, as a lot of people will be trying to get better horses or Pegas for themselves in the future. Okay. So in conclusion, guys, you got it there. Make sure that you understand that the breeding is still going to cost you Vis and Pegas, and you're going to need Vis and PGX to burn your Pegas to upgrade them, and keep an eye out for that tip, that hidden tips that he's talking about. In conclusion, at this time, I'm not sure how the stats works myself exactly. I've got two horses or Pegas. The one is over 30 score with a 12% win rate, and the other one is less than 30 with a 27% win rate. So clearly I'm missing something here. If you know what I'm missing, I don't know. But yeah, keep your eyes open. If you've got Viz to burn, decide, I think carefully how you want to spend it. And if you want to do massive scale breeding, make sure you've got the Viz and the PGX to do this. So if you like the video, like and subscribe, and thank you.